Hey everyone, this is Kelsey Balt. Welcome to Devoted Cowgirl, a podcast where I talk about my life as a Christian horsewoman. Every week we'll dive into topics like growing your faith, improving your barrel racing, and how those things intertwine in my life. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm super glad you're here. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Devoted Cowgirl. This week I want to touch about friends again. And I know I talked about this a few weeks ago about being aware of who you're hanging out with because that affects what you're like. But today I want to just talk about it in a little bit different manner. And there's two things I want to touch on that I stumbled across on the Book of Faces. And it just was like, I should record an episode about that. And the first one is I saw a post that said, it's okay to clap for your friends if their dream takes off before yours. And this was such a huge reminder for me because I have friends that are in a completely different part of their life than we are. And it's really easy to get jealous and get frustrated that they're farther along, or not even farther along, because everyone has different paths that they're going to take in life. And when you get worried about where someone else is in their journey compared to where you are in yours, it can be very, very easy to, to get stuck in the rut of wondering, well, how come they're where they are and I'm not there yet? And it's not they got somewhere before you so much as that's just where they're supposed to be right now and you're where you're supposed to be. And so my big dream, and what I feel like I'm really called to do is to run a boarding and training facility where it's mainly going to be focused on like the youth and high school equestrian team athletes and youth rodeo, and somewhere that barrel racers of all ages, but also youth riders have somewhere to like be and to hang out and to make friends that are good lifelong friends that are a good influence. And this dream is like so deeply ingrained in me, and it's really frustrating to see other people my age that inherited a property like that and get to be doing what I want to be doing already. And they didn't have to be financially responsible and purchase a piece of property and build that from the ground up like I will have to. And it's very easy to get frustrated with that situation and to find all the things that they're doing wrong with that situation. And that's entirely not fair because they did nothing to deserve that, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I don't mean that it was just handed to them. Like, they did nothing to deserve that in the same sense that I did nothing to quote unquote deserve being in my position. Like, I'm not being punished by being made to wait, and they're not being rewarded for something that they did. That's just the way the cookie crumbled, and how that's just what God's plan was for those people. And while it's frustrating to be on the side where I'm still waiting, it's not right for me to wish ill upon them or find and point out all the things that they're doing wrong and that I feel like I would do better. And so I just want to remind you guys, this is kind of a reminder for you guys and for myself, to clap for your friends that are getting to a point in their life that you're not to yet. And that can be things like success in the barrel racing pen. Maybe you've been working your buns off forever and you want to run a 1D barrel horse, but your friend just happened to get a horse that is taking them to that level before you get there. And instead of being bitter and being jealous of where they're at and how they're somewhere where you've wanted to be for so long, celebrate them and be there for them, because we've all, as barrel racers, seen the posts that are a good dose of reality, because you're not going to be on top forever. And inevitably, your 1D barrel horse or your NFR caliber horse is not going to be at that level anymore. And if you're like most of us, you can't just go buy another one. So you're going to have to take the time to find the right one or to make the next one, and you will no longer be at the top. So when your friends are at the top and they're succeeding and they're kicking butt and they're taking names, celebrate that stuff. Clap for them, because they're not going to be there forever. And so you got to celebrate the wins while they're there. And yes. And so just realize that while you might be in the valley while your friend is on the mountaintop, but you should still cheer for them, because in a few months or a few years, you're going to be on the mountaintop and your friend is going to be in the valley, and it's going to be a complete reversal of the situation. So remember that before you go. Not saying that people badmouth it, but just remember that before you go complaining about so-and-so being in a spot that you really want to be in. Take some time and look at what they did differently, maybe. Maybe you can learn from their journey and see what they did to get to where you want to be. And so that's my reminder on that portion of friendship. And it kind of transitions well into this next piece that I want to talk to you guys about. And that is the importance of having good friends, and friends that will cheer for you when you're in your highs, but will also lift you up when you're in your lows. And I was reading my daily devotional the other day, and I will have to get back to you or double check the verses, but it is in the gospel, one of the books of the gospel, where Jesus is speaking. Oh, look at that. My little notes here. In Luke chapter 5, Jesus is speaking inside of someone's home, and it was so overcrowded that no one else could fit. But there was a man who was paralyzed, and his friends carried him to the rooftop and lowered him down through the roof so that he could be in front of Jesus. And Jesus said, because of the faith of your friends, you are healed. And he got up and walked out of there. And I just want you guys to wrap your heads around that. He was healed not because of his own faith, but because of the faith of his friends. His friends that carried him up to the top of a building and lowered him down in front of Jesus, because they knew that if they could get him in front of Jesus, he would be healed. And if you think about people and what you would do in that situation, and because you have to remember that, like, the people in the Bible, like, they're not superheroes. They're everyday people just like we are. And so I find it a little bit easier to wrap my head around the stories of the Bible if I try to picture what my friends and I would do in that situation. And I know me, like, I'm an introvert. If there's a bunch of people in a building, I'm going to just sit outside and listen to what's being said, because I don't want to try to shove my way in there and get all up with the people. And it's funny. It makes me think of when I go to the NFR and there is one of the top 15 cowboys or cowgirls in the events, and there's an autograph signing. I won't stand in line to get a signed autograph because it just feels weird. And I don't want to waste, I don't want to say waste because they're good people and they're super cool people, but I don't want to take the time to stand in line with all those other people and feel like a fangirl. And I can imagine that this gentleman that was paralyzed might have been trying to talk his friends out of it and just like, you guys know, like this, I've been like this forever and this is just how it's going to be. Like, it's fine. There's no room in there. I'll just stay out here and I'll listen to what he has to say from out here. And I can picture his friends being like, no, dude, like this is your chance. We're going to haul you up there and it's going to happen. And I picture these people arguing about it, and like I know how I would be with my friends, and I would probably be complaining and whining and moaning the whole way up the stairs, and then as they're lowering me down in front of Jesus, I would be like, I can't believe you guys are doing this right now, putting me in this situation, making me feel all weird, putting me in front of everybody right in the middle of this speech that he's giving, and now I'm uncomfortable. But if that man did not have those friends to carry him up there and to make that decision for him, he would have never walked. And so this is your reminder to check who you have in your corner. If you don't have people in your corner that would carry you to a rooftop and lower you down in front of Jesus so you could get better, you probably need to get new friends. And that doesn't mean that you have to have friends that are with you 24/7 and you see them all the time, because I have friends that I don't talk to all the time that I know would carry my whiny butt up to a rooftop and lower me down in front of Jesus if I needed to be healed. And they would tell me to shut up, and they were doing it anyways, no matter how much I complained. If you're listening, shout out to Haley and Janessa and Andrea and Cindy and Mara and Jesse and all those friends. And I know I see some of you more than others, but I know that if push came to shove and I needed y'all, you would be there. So I love you guys. If you're not listening, well, boo on you. You should listen. But y'all, this is just a reminder to check who you have in your circle. Check who's in your corner. Are they going to be there and celebrate you when you're at your highs and when you're at your lows? Or are they only going to cheer for you when you're at the top of your game and they can get something from you? And that is super important to realize, because there are going to be those friends that are only going to be there for you when you're succeeding. And I'm not trying to don't go dump those friends, because we all have a role to play in friendships. And sometimes maybe you're providing them with something, but know who is in your corner and make sure that you've got friends that will carry you through all the lows in life, as well as celebrate your highs. And not only carry you through the lows in life, but kick your buns when you need to be motivated because you're pouting about something, or you need to just get your buns to work and do the thing, whatever the thing might be. And so it's super important not only to have friends that celebrate you and support you, but will give you a kick in the pants and a little dose of reality when you need it. And so friends, you guys, they're so important. Celebrate them even when they're succeeding and you're not. And also make sure you got good friends that'll haul your whiny buns to a rooftop and lower you down in front of Jesus. Because those are the friends that are going to change your life. And on that note, I'm going to do a little mic drop and tell y'all to have a great weekend if you're barrel racing, or even if you're not. I hope you have clean, safe, fast runs, and remember to strive for progress, not perfection. Love y'all. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review on your listening app of choice. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can also check out our website, www.devotedcowgirl.com, for any important show notes and some other updates. I'll see you next week.